Okay, so you've got the question here on the board now to have a go at some of the ideas from before. So if you haven't already, do make sure that you've had a go first, and then we're going to go through and look at the question together. So we've got a particle of weight 8n. So one thing we could do with that straight away really is we could write 8 on there. And it's attached by 2 light inextensible string. So this is not a bead, because a bead has the same tension on both sides. So these things here, we're going to assume that they have different tensions. So I could call it, say, T1 and T2. Equilibrium, okay, so anything else? Not really. Everything else is stuff that we can see in the diagram already. So to make this one easier to work with, what I might do is something like the following. So first of all, let's work with horizontal and vertical, and I don't have that at the moment, do I? So let's choose some colors. We're going to do purple. Let's do purple for our vertical. So that one's 8. T1, how could I break T1 up vertically? Well, it would have some up in it, wouldn't it? Because it's up and to the left, so it would have some up into it. And then the other direction, I'll pick a different color. So it would have some of this element to it. Now, there's other ways of doing it. I'm just doing it this way because I don't want these lines to get in the way of one another. So you might think that's a bit inconvenient with a 35. That's actually really easy to fix. So angles and parallel lines are going on here. So this is just going to be 35. So I've got T1 now on my hypotenuse. I've got 35 here. So this is the opposite side. So this will be sine. So this will be T1 sine 35. Okay. And then the other side here, this is going to be T1 cos 35. Yeah. So let's do the same thing over here. T2 could be broken up as well. So again, we'll put some colors on it. Why are we doing this? Just to make it nice and clear that the horizontal and the verticals are going to be used with each other separately. And so we have to the right, and then we have up. And where's the 25 going to go in this one? So 25 is going to go there, 5 degrees. So T2 is on the hypotenuse, 25, this is opposite, so that's sine, isn't it? So this is T2 sine 25, and then this is T2 cos 25. So these are all the forces in the question. I could even get rid of these now because I've resolved these. So it's just those 5 forces really in the question. So let's do, first of all, let's do the up and down. So what are all the up and down forces in the question? Well, T1 sine 35 and T2 sine 25 are the 2 upwards forces in the question. So the upwards forces, so that's the first one, plus the second one, need to be equal to the downwards forces, which is only 8. There's nothing else in the question for forces going down, so that's it. And then the horizontal, for the horizontal, these are working in opposite directions. And it said it's an equilibrium, so that must mean then that T1 cos 35 is actually equal to T2 cos 25. Another way of saying that is saying that the net force is 0. Okay, so you might at this point wish to just change these things so it's easier for you to see that this is a simultaneous equation with just 2 letters that we don't know. Okay, so what can we then do to solve this? Well, probably the easiest way is to rearrange this one underneath. So you could do something like P equals Q cos 25 over cos 35, yeah? And then use this one in this one here, okay, and you are able to get to something. Let's have a look. To get to something like the following. So subbing this in would be now. So it's Q cos 25 over cos 35 sine 35 plus Q sine 25 equals 8. So everything is now in terms of Q. It's a bit fiddly, this one, really, isn't it? It turns into Q cos 25 tan, because there's a sign of cos, tan 35, or you could just type the numbers in, plus Q sine 25 equals 8. So it looks intimidating, but remember, these are all just numbers, okay? And eventually you will get that Q is equal to, I've got sort of 7.6, okay? So it rounds to 7.6. And then once you've got that one there, okay, you can sub it into one of the other equations, probably easiest if you sub it into this one here, okay, and you should also get that P is equal to 8.4. Okay, I'm not going to go through this bit, but you know, they are just numbers, okay? So number Q plus number of Q equals 8 just means some number of Q equals 8, divide by that 8 by that number, and you'll get Q. So what are the main things to talk about on here? Well, again, it's that theme of breaking things up, horizontal and vertical, okay? Equilibrium was used. So there it was, equilibrium was used. And then do you notice the questions were, what are the tensions? Well, we've just done that, haven't we? So T1 was P, which is 8.4, and T2, which was Q, was 7.6. Okay, so just a continuation, hopefully, of the same sort of ideas as before.